everyone. Thank you so much for showing up here today. My name is Deanna Meyer, and I'm with Deep Green Resistance. And I wanted to say that first and foremost, I'd like us to acknowledge that we are standing on stolen land. This is Ute territory, and we are in the middle of an ongoing genocide. In our struggle for our social and environmental justice, the non-Indigenous must start taking responsibility for this truth if we are ever going to return help to the land and to the people. I would like for all of us today, right now, to just take a moment to look around us. What do we see? What do we hear? What do we smell? What do we feel? And now I want to ask all of you to use your imagination and think about what this place looked like before settler society came here. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? And what do you see? Now, I wasn't here 500 years ago, but I know one thing. It looked radically different than it does today. This land was teeming with life. The rivers were abundant with fish. And people had lived here in place for tens of thousands of years. And somehow these people managed to not poison their land, to not poison their water or their air, to not exterminate the bison, exterminate the prairie dogs. There used to be flocks of birds that flew over here that were so thick that they would darken the sky for days and on end. Where are those birds? So in looking at this, I sit there and think, what happened? How did we get here? And then I have to think about what Tessa talked about last week at Occupy, and about women in our voices and how they have to start being heard. Because women share everything in common with Mother Earth. First of all, we're life givers. We gave everybody standing here life. You came from the womb of a woman. The earth has given all of us life, and everything on it, its life. And this beautiful gift, the only gift we'll ever really have, was given to us from this Mother Earth. We also share objectification. Women in Mother Earth are completely objectified. We're objects. And if you don't buy that, all you have to do is look at the media, is look at the magazines. Look at how we're portrayed in this society as women. What is valued in us? And there is no way that the tar sands could be happening today if we did not objectify our Mother Earth. There's no way we could scrape the last remaining lungs of this planet off and kill all life on its surface. If we didn't believe, if this culture didn't believe that Earth was an object, that Mother Earth is not alive, she's an object, how else could you possibly do that? We also share in common with the Earth exploitation. Women and Mother Earth are completely exploited. And if you don't believe that, just look and think about pornography. Pornography is one of the biggest businesses in America, along with plastic surgery and cosmetic surgeries. So what is it that society values about women? We are being exploited for the pleasure and sexual pleasure of men. The tar sands is the same. The tar sands is being exploited. She's being killed, she's being penetrated, and her oil beneath her bosom is being taken for the pleasure of man. I have a son. He's 7 years old, and his future's not looking so good. How am I supposed to look at my son and tell him that the food that he's eating is becoming increasingly poisoned, and that it'll probably make him sick? How am I supposed to look at my son and tell him that the air that he's breathing is becoming increasingly toxic, and it will probably make him sick? How am I supposed to look at my son and tell him that the water that he is drinking is carcinogenic, and it will probably make him sick? I went walking up on the South Platte about a month ago, west from here, up by Deckers, and I stared at that water, and it was beautiful. It was playing, it was wild, it was alive, and it wasn't held back by the constraints of the banks. wasn't telling it where to go. It went where it wanted to go. And it was feeding so many things. I thought of all the animals that came to her shores and drank from her. All the elk, all the deer, all the fish that swam up and down of her belly, and that do swim up and down her belly and depend on her for her life. All the plants, all the trees, everything that depends on this water and myself. And then I stared at that water and I realized where it was heading. And if that water made it through the dams of domination, it was coming here. It was coming here to be poisoned. Which reminded me that my womb is being poisoned. My womb that created that beautiful man that I look at. Every mother's breast milk on this planet has dioxin in it right now. All of our wombs are being poisoned the exact same way as our rivers are being poisoned. And if we all continue to be complacent, as we have been with this colonized society, and refuse to do anything about it, if we go home and watch TV and eat our fast food and just assume that somebody will fix this mess, somebody's got to fix this mess for us, they'll do it. We may as well go home and start digging our graves, because we're as good as dead, and our future is over. It is up to us, as women, as men, as human beings, as life, to start speaking up and to start refusing this domination, this death, this poisoning. We have to do this. We have to do this for our future generations. We have to stop these corporations from poisoning us, from poisoning our children, from poisoning the life that we depend on to be here with. And if we listen real hard to nature right now, and we listen to the trees, we listen to Mother Earth, and we listen to the animals, to the river, to everything alive around us, we will hear her saying to us, please wake up from your nightmare. Please wake up and stop this corporate pollution, this domination. Please wake up and help restore the land to what it used to be. And that is my prayer too. Please, please, all of us, it's time to wake up. Thank you.